Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be discussing a new what if. The fathers of the two main saiyans, Bardock and King Vegeta, played a significant role for the future of Goku and Vegeta, but what if we alter something of these two saiyans, making both Bardock and King Vegeta brothers? With this change, it would change Bardock's family a lot, mainly giving Goku and Raditz the blood of the royal family and making them high-class saiyans. Given that fact, it would completely change the dynamic of Goku, Vegeta, and even Raditz. How could this massive change of this new family tree affect the entirety of Dragon Ball as we know it? Also, I own a Discord server for anyone who wants to join and talk more about Dragon Ball with me and other viewers. Maybe give us some of your own ideas of what ifs, and maybe in the future, I could do them. Check in the link in the description down below. For today's question of the video goes from Dynamo Spaghetti. If Frieza got another form, what color would you want it to be? Now, we already have a golden Frieza and a more recent black Frieza. If I was going to give him another one, just to make it a little funny I guess, is giving him a purple colored form, just to have his whole body be purple. Since his body parts that are colored, that always stays the same, is the purple. What if we just give him a purple form and he'll just be completely purple? You know, call him Obsidian Frieza. I don't know. Thank you so much for the question. If you want your comment to be featured in the next video, just comment down a question you would like for me to answer, and maybe you'll be lucky enough for your comment to be featured in the next video. Without further ado, let's dive into the first part of what if Bardock and King Vegeta were brothers. So we'll begin on planet Vegeta with quite a few changes, with the obvious fact that here Bardock and King Vegeta are brothers. That makes their family related. The bond between Bardock and King Vegeta is still a bit sour, with King Vegeta having a big ego, especially with the fact that he is the king of their home planet. More importantly, with Vegeta, Raditz, and Goku all being cousins. Here, it would make more sense with Raditz and Vegeta being on the same squad, and here Raditz wouldn't be considered a weakling, or wouldn't be talked down upon, at least not as much as he was in canon. Raditz would be stronger than Nappa, but still weaker than Vegeta by at least 1000. Their bond would be better and more friendlier, with just the fact that Vegeta, just like his father, would rub it in Raditz's face that he will be the next king. Moving on to Goku, when he was born, instead of having a power level of 5, he will have a power level of 5000, which Bardock would be proud of. Continuing the story of Dragon Ball, Frieza would still plan to destroy planet Vegeta, calling back all the Saiyans to their planet, and going with the version of Bardock from Dragon Ball Z Bardock, the father of Goku, Bardock's crew would still be wasted by Frieza's henchmen, and after barely surviving with his own life, he would still have the visions of planet Vegeta being destroyed, his brother's death, and seeing Kakarot all grown up facing Frieza. He quickly would return to planet Vegeta and warn everyone of the impending doom of their planet. And this time around, people would actually believe Bardock, since this time he is a high-class Saiyan and a part of the royal family. Gathering up an army, he would then proceed to meet with his brother King Vegeta, warning him of his potential future death that he saw. King Vegeta was a bit skeptical, but since it was coming from his brother, and the fact that Frieza did make a weird call gathering all the Saiyans to their planet made him believe and join Bardock in stopping Frieza. Before they started the revolution, Bardock would send Kakarot away just like he did in canon, just in case he couldn't stop Frieza, while King Vegeta would warn his son and nephew about this upcoming battle and to warn them about Frieza in case they don't come out on top. After gathering every Saiyan warrior they could, they would all head to the atmosphere ready to face off Frieza. With the huge amount of Saiyan fighters they created a power ball to allow them to transform into the Great Ape form, while Bardock, King Vegeta, and some other Saiyans rushed at Frieza, fighting any soldiers that get in their way. King Vegeta would manage to get close to Frieza, but Frieza would shoot a death beam, hitting King Vegeta in the shoulder. Bardock only saw his brother getting hit and thought he was just killed. He grew angry, blaming himself that his crew died, and that his brother died even when he had the foresight to prevent his brother's death. Yet, he still failed. His anger began to take over as his aura flares up. His hair begins to grow and change in appearance. A loud roar is heard from everyone as they see a huge bright yellow aura emerge in the battlefield, as the Saiyans look over in shock at what they are seeing. Bardock has become the legendary Super Saiyan. Without wasting more time, Bardock immediately charges a key attack, shooting it right at Frieza. Currently with a power level of 10,000, the Super Saiyan multiplier would give Bardock a power level of 500,000, being almost as strong as Frieza in his first form. But since Frieza most likely would have not expected to go all out in this first form, he would be caught off guard as he would quickly try to shoot a key attack of his own to hold against Bardock's attack, as then King Vegeta would appear next to Bardock, aiding him in his key struggle, as this allows them to overpower Frieza and killing him. Seeing their leader dead, the rest of Frieza's army begins to get taken down one by one until the Saiyans finished every single one of them. After their victory, they would all return to their planet, as everyone would be cheering Bardock as he is the legendary Super Saiyan, even many of them wanting Bardock to become the next king of the Saiyans, which King Vegeta didn't like. Bardock isn't the leader type, but he understands why people would want him to be the new king, since he is the Super Saiyan. He didn't want to take the role from his brother, but he knew he needed to. He would take the mantle of king as his brother really couldn't do anything against it, as he isn't strong enough to fight against his brother. But seeing that Bardock did achieve the Super Saiyan transformation, he believed that maybe he could as well, and reclaim his throne. Now with Bardock as the king of the Saiyans, he would lead their race to be better, not wanting to conquer planets anymore as they did not have to live under the rule of Frieza any longer. However, the looming threat of cold was still wavering, so King Bardock and Vegeta Sr. began training for this threat, and Bardock would be wanting to focus more on his newly acquired power and would try to help Vegeta achieve it as well. They would also notify their sons about the victory, letting them know it is safe to return home. Bardock would then prepare to venture out to get Kakarot back, but then he would get more visions, seeing the journey that Kakarot goes through, seeing him training and getting stronger, and also making new friends, and even seeing the family he will have in the future. Seeing the life he will live, he decides it's best to leave Kakarot on Earth for now, and let him live his safer life. But one day, once he is older, or when they take down King Cold, he will visit his son. He will tell Guinea about what he saw for their son, and even though she misses him a lot, she doesn't want to take away what their kid would gain and accomplish. So, she would allow for Kakarot to stay on Earth. For the next few years, Bardock, Vegeta Sr., Vegeta, and Raditz would be training intensely as the other three did want to achieve this new power. Vegeta was pretty motivated as all the gloating he did previously is biting him in the butt, as Raditz is now rubbing it in Vegeta's face that he will be the next king and that his father is the legendary Super Saiyan. But Bardock would teach Raditz to not behave like that. They would be training for around a year until King Cold would arrive on planet Vegeta after not hearing from his son for a good while. But before we get into that confrontation, let's discuss some power levels. Bardock would be at a power level of 100,000 with consistent training with 3 other strong Saiyans for an entire year, also meaning a power level of 5 million in Super Saiyan. Vegeta Sr. would be second with a power level of 80,000. Vegeta and Raditz would actually be neck and neck, both sitting at a power level of 45,000. Now Bardock expected Cold to visit their planet, and their plan consisted of getting the surprise attack on him. Cold would be holding back, not expecting the Saiyans to be strong. Cold would obviously try to attack Vegeta Sr. thinking he is still king, as Bardock would jump in front of his brother, catching Cold's arm and shooting a ki blast right through his chest, and without wasting more time, he would use a very powerful blast, erasing Cold. Now with Cold gone, the Saiyans could actually live their lives in peace without any of the Frost demons looming in the universe. Moving on to Goku, he would land on Earth and still be taken in by Grandpa Gohan, still being rowdy and hitting his head. When Grandpa Gohan would begin training Goku, he would see his immense potential with the fact that his power level was already much stronger than him, but he would struggle with having Goku control his power, so Gohan would reach out to his old master, Roshi, for help in training Goku. Together they would train Goku, but instead of focusing on making him stronger, they would focus on having him control his already huge power level. With the student being as strong as he is, both Gohan and Roshi saw huge growth in their power level as well, both reaching a power level of 2000. They would eventually experience the Great Ape transformation that Goku has when he looks at the moon. His power level skyrocketed all the way to 50,000, but with the more open space of Roshi's home and 2 highly skilled martial artists, I believe they would find out the cause of Goku's transformation and be able to destroy the moon, and both living to see the next day. They would warn Goku about the form and what it does to him, so this time Goku knows about his Great Ape form a lot sooner and knows how to activate it. After a few years of training, Goku and Gohan would be able to return to their home, around the same time as Bulma would meet Goku as normal. Gohan would urge Goku to go on the adventure with Bulma, as it would be good for him to experience more about the world. So Goku would take off with Bulma and begin the story of Dragon Ball, but with this time around being much stronger. Any threats or foes that Goku and Bulma face, he would beat them without any real effort, as he is stronger, faster, smarter, and more skillful than in canon. The Pilaf gang wouldn't be an issue for Goku, same with Oolong, and when it comes to Yamcha, he wouldn't stand a chance at all. But once he hears who trained Goku, I believe he would still follow them like normal. Even when they arrive at Fire Mountain, Goku wouldn't need to get Master Roshi, as no doubt right now he could already fire his own powerful Kamehameha wave, putting out the flames and giving them another Dragon Ball. Monster Care wouldn't be an issue as well, and I don't think they would be captured by the Pilaf gang, and would get their own wish, which Bulma would probably ask for an infinite supply of strawberries, still falling in love with Yamcha. Now for the next few months, Goku wouldn't train under Roshi as he already spent years with Roshi and learned all he could from him. But someone else had their eyes on Goku, as Kami would call Goku, telling him that he can train him further. Goku would end up meeting Mr. Popo as he would take him to the lookout, and Goku would meet with Kami early on. Kami can sense how powerful Goku is and how much potential he has, so that is why he decided to get into contact with him a lot earlier than in canon. For the next 8 months that he would have trained under Roshi, he instead trained under Kami, With his change of potential being a high-class Saiyan, he managed to do the 3 years of training he did under Kami in the original timeline in just the 8 months before the tournament. However, he would not participate in the tournament this time around, as he would train until a year would pass, as he would go on the hunt for the Dragon Balls, wanting to get back the 4-star ball. Even though Gohan is still alive, it still holds value to them. With the tournament, it would go around the same, with Jackie Chun winning the tournament, and Krillin would remain cocky and a bit less confident without Goku around. The entire Red Ribbon Army arc wouldn't be a problem for Goku, as he would easily go through the army without struggle, still befriending Ader, and honestly no one surviving, meaning Gero is out of the picture before he could forge his plan to eliminate Goku in the future. Commander Red would still hire Mercenary Tao to assassinate Goku, but that would not be happening this time around. Goku, being much stronger, would be able to take down Tao with ease, and also save Bora from his death. Moving on to Fortune Teller Baba, her tournament would be much shorter, as Goku would be able to deal with all 4 fighters with ease. This time around, it is 4 fighters since Gohan is still alive. Now gathering all the Dragon Balls again, they wouldn't really have a wish, as Bora never died and Goku didn't really want a wish, but just the 4-star Dragon Ball. So he would deliver the other 6 Dragon Balls to Bulma, so that whenever they did need to make a wish, they will already have the Dragon Balls collected. Goku would head back to the lookout to continue training, even though at this point he really learned all he could, and his growth began to stay at a standstill, until he remembered his grade 8 form, which gave him a massive increase in power. Instead of going to the tournament, he would remain training, mainly trying to control his grade 8 form. The first attempt when he transformed, Kami was very worried, but with all the training Goku did before with Gohan and Roshi when he was younger, and with the fact that Goku is a high-class Saiyan, he was actually able to keep under control in his grade 8 form for the first time around, which he was excited about. He would spend his time going in and out of the grade 8 form to try to perfect the transformation, but one thing he didn't like was the fact of how big and slow he got in the form, and wanted to figure out a way to have the strength of the Ozaru in his base, but currently had no real clue how to do so. With the others during the tournament, with Goku being replaced by a normal fighter, the outcomes of the matches would be different, with Yamcha actually besting Tien because of how much stronger he is. Remember, Roshi grew much stronger when he trained a strong Goku, and so that also means when Krillin and Yamcha trained under Roshi, they saw better gains as well. Tien was no doubt more skillful than Yamcha, but Yamcha has superior strength, allowing him to win the match. Yamcha would also lose to Roshi and give the finals to Roshi and Krillin, and this matchup would be similar to how Goku fought Jackie Chun the first time in the canon story. Krillin has trained with Master Roshi for quite some time, and being his only student, he had his teacher's main focus. Krillin and Jackie Chun were almost close in power. On Krillin's side, he had his youth, giving him more stamina to fight, but Jackie Chun had the superior skillfulness and techniques under his belt. The fight was close, but ultimately Jackie Chun would win the tournament once again. Tien would see the error in his ways, and he and Chaozu would go train under Roshi. They would all go celebrate, and this time around, Krillin would avoid death by not having to return to the tournament arena for Goku's staff. But even if he did have to face off against one of King Piccolo's children, they wouldn't stand a chance. King Piccolo would still order his children to kill any martial artist on the planet, but when they come across Roshi and the others, they wouldn't stand a chance, with fighters like Roshi, Krillin, and Yamcha. Knowing what was going on, Roshi told the others about the story of Demon King Piccolo, and how he had returned. Kami sensed what was going down on Earth, and notified Goku of the threat, but Kami was actually not worried, as he knew Goku was more than enough to stop him, and even without Goku, the stronger fighters on Earth could deal with King Piccolo easily. Kami would order Goku to return to his friends and help in capturing King Piccolo, rather than killing him. Goku would fly over to the others, regrouping with them and meeting Krillin, Tien, and Chaozu for the first time, and explaining where he has been the past few years. Together, they would take out the children of King Piccolo and eventually would come face to face with King Piccolo. And without King Piccolo having wished his youth back, he wouldn't be able to fight back. Even if he did make the wish, he still wouldn't stand a chance. So, he would be captured rather easily and contained, as they saved Earth a lot easier. Now for the next 3 years, everyone would actually begin training on Kami's lookout. More mainly training with Goku since of how much stronger he is than everyone else. Seeing everyone else train hard, this gave Kami the motivation to train as well, and even using the Dragon Balls to restore his youth, so that he could be of more use as his role as the guardian of the Earth. So let's go over power levels after 3 years of training with all the Z fighters. Goku is at the top with the power level of 7,500, Roshi is at a power level of 5,000, Yamcha and Krillin at 4,500, Tien at 3,000, Kami at 2,500, and Chaozu at 2,000. Time came for the 23rd World Tournament, and this time around Goku would participate in it for the first time, and without the looming threat of Piccolo Jr. This tournament goes uninterrupted and is more for fun rather than stopping a threat. Kami wouldn't be in the tournament, so we would replace him with Roshi, and Piccolo Jr. with a random fighter. Tien would destroy Tao with ease, not even getting his chest scar. And the match between Goku and Chi-Chi would play out the same, with Goku proposing to Chi-Chi as normal. Yamcha would face Roshi, which in the end Roshi would still come out on top. Then Goku vs Tien would happen for the first time, just a bit less intense, with a huge gap in power between the two fighters. Krillin would then face Roshi again, and like Yamcha wouldn't be able to best his teacher. And for the finals would be Goku and Master Roshi, the long-awaited battle between student and master. Roshi thanked Goku for showing him how much more he could have grown as their fight would begin. Goku was holding back heavily, wanting to enjoy the match. Roshi would try to use his various techniques, but Goku, having been trained under Roshi and Kami, he has grown to be a smart fighter, being able to avoid anything Roshi throws at him. The fight is a nice match between the strongest fighters, but this would be the tournament where Roshi would lose his title of strongest under the heavens, as Goku would win his first world tournament. Now after that, we get into the 5-year time skip where Goku calmed down on the training a little with starting his family. Given that he is a high class Saiyan, that would give Gohan even more potential than what he had in canon, with the combination of his already insane potential of being a hybrid Saiyan, but also with the fact of being a son of a high class Saiyan. With a power level of 7,500 at birth, making him as strong as Goku just as a baby. Goku would be very interested in training his powerful son, but Chi-Chi would heavily influence Gohan to pursue education, as he still does so normally, but with a special inclusion to the family. Grandpa Gohan is still alive. He would spend some time training Gohan, not physically but more to control his power, like how he did with Goku when he was young. Not much would change during the 5 years for Goku, at least, not training as much, but with the other Z fighters, knowing how strong Goku is, they would continue training, mainly Yamcha, Krillin, Tien, and Chaozu. They all trained together on Kami's lookout. It was a slow increase, but by the time the 5 years passed, here are their power levels. Yamcha and Krillin were at a power level of 6,000, Tien not far behind with a power level of 5,500, Kami at a power level of 5,000, and Chaozu at a power level of 4,000. And that's where we're going to leave it off for now. Tell me how y'all think about the first part and how it did with the beginning of this What If. Will Goku ever meet his parents? What will be the future for the Z Fighters? Will they have any threats in the future? What could have happened differently? Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below. I would love to hear them. If y'all are interested and enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted whenever I post another part. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next part. See ya.